Hey, we are back on Summit Sunrise, and Gail just showed up from the Breckenridge Heritage Alliance, and she's going to chat a little bit about what's happening over there. As we know, February is Black History Month, and there's still a little bit of time left in February as we kind of wrap up, and I can't believe we're moving into spring already. It's kind of amazing. I mean, March, we're getting close. It is good. It is good, although I'm enjoying the snow that we're getting finally. So what's going on over there for Black History Month? How are we celebrating?
Well, we have the Barney Ford Museum over in Breckenridge. So today, or this month rather, we're honouring Barney Ford and his wife Julia. Barney Ford was an escaped slave from Virginia, but he made good. So that's why he has a house in Breckenridge that you can go around today.
Some great stories. I used to work over in Breckenridge, and I heard some great stories about Barney Ford and some of the things that have happened around the town and the mountain area back before it was a ski location.
Yeah, exactly. He has an incredible story to tell, Barney Ford, from being a slave to being a miner. He actually got into Breckenridge in 1860 and started gold mining, but he was actually kicked out of town. Anyway, he then went down to Denver, made his fortune in restaurants and hotels. He then went on to move into politics, and he was the one who was responsible for getting the African-American vote included in the Constitution when Colorado became a state in 1876. It's all down to Barney.
Such a good story, and there's so much history around Breckenridge, and it sounds like the Barney Ford Museum is a great place to start.
Oh, definitely. And before I move on, I don't want to forget Julia, his wife.
Oh.
She did a lot for women's rights, African-American women's rights. And she received notoriety because she was the first African-American woman to be on the social register of Denver, which, believe it or not, Molly Brown, our unsinkable Molly Brown, never achieved.
Amazing stories.
She was.
The kind of the tie to Breckenridge and to see the way that town has evolved and how old it is, and you know how it's turned into, and it's still how we embrace the history of Breckenridge so well with the Heritage Alliance. I mean, I know that there's a lot of events and things that you guys have throughout the year. Sounds like Barney Ford Museum is where you need to check out right now. What can folks expect to find when they go and visit the museum?
There is a tour guide in the house, so she will take you around and give you a full tour of the house and tell you all about Barney's story. Ending up with the story, of course, how he ended back in Breckenridge after 1882, and he built this house, he built restaurants on Main Street, and he also finally achieved his goal, which was to buy a gold mine. He bought the Oro gold mine, which turned into the Wellington mine. So finally, that was his dream come true, and he was 60 when he did that.
That's amazing. And so did he kind of retire in Breckenridge? I mean, he bought the gold mine, and then he was there. That was kind of his place, right? He moved back from Denver and lived in Breckenridge full time.
Yep, and he intended to stay there and retire there. But what happened was Julia got sick. And you know what altitude's like. When you're sick, it's not the best place to be. So they decided to go back down to Denver. And she lasted actually till she was 77, which is an incredible age.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And he lasted till he was 80. So that's amazing by their standards.
We didn't have oxygen bars in the 1800s powered by steam.
No.
They did not. They didn't invent those quite yet. No. There's some photos right there up of the house itself and downtown. It's a nice summer shot, actually. So
and it has beautiful grounds as well, which we can't see. So you can walk around the grounds. And that's where in the summer we have the garden party for July 4th and that pro cycling race. We had a big garden party,
and that's back this summer as well. And of course, you know, just like everything else in Breckenridge, you're right, a block from Main Street, I think the museum is.
We're right on
Main Street.
Main Street. Yeah, Main Street in Washington.
Oh, Main Street in Washington. That's right. So so easy to get to. Everything's right there. Go check it out, and then go grab a meal somewhere, and you can talk about what you saw with your family. Gail, thanks so much for coming in. We're going to wrap it up, and I think we're all going to go skiing.
Okay.
Well, it snow's fresh, so that's what we're going to do.
Lucky for some. I've got to go and work.
Thanks for stopping by. Everybody, thanks for joining us this morning on Summit Sunrise. Don't forget tomorrow, more cool watch and win prizes coming up. I see a pile over here that's got all kinds of cool stuff. But thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful weekend. Go check out the Barn and Ford Museum. Enjoy some history of the town of Breckenridge.